Hi and welcome back, or welcome to Marion K Tarot. Hi again. So like I had said in my previous video, I wanted to start creating content again for YouTube, and I thought today I was sitting in my office, and as you can see, such a bright and lovely day here, and the sun's shining, and it's lovely. It's like we're proper into Taurus season, and it's just lovely. So with that being said, with the fact that it's Taurus season, and I was like, right, okay, so what are the things I really love other than tarot and astrology, obviously. Excuse me, that goes without saying. So one of the things is I absolutely adore crystals, and I have been a crystal therapist. I qualified as a crystal therapist way back in 2008, 2007, 2008, the round about that time, and I went to college and I studied crystals, and I did that for an entire year, and I absolutely adored it, and I loved it. It was one of my favourite things that I've ever done. And after that I did treatments in people, and I worked as a complementary therapist because I had other modalities I had trained in as well prior to the crystals, and I really loved it. However, I gave that up to get back to Muggle work. The whole story, I'll maybe talk about it one day, but today is not that day. So I created a reel for Instagram this morning, just a wee kind of video through some of the crystals that I use, and some of them that are on my dedicated crystal altar. And one of the questions I asked my audience was, what do you want to know? How do you use your crystals? And, how would you like to use your crystals? And somebody came up with, Ben, hi, if you watch us, this is for you. And so Ben asked if he would like to know how to use his crystal ball properly. So that got me thinking, and I was like, right, okay, so I've had a wee ponder, and I'm like, well, I do use a crystal ball for divination. I know, it's like proper divination, yes, I do have a crystal ball, and yes, I do use it. So, and here it's here, right? So that's my actual clear crystal ball, and I've had that. Oh my goodness, I've had my crystal ball. I've had it before I actually did the crystal therapy course. So I think it was maybe, when did I get that? I remember where I was when I got it, because I got it at a show in Glasgow. I think it was as early as 2003. So that's 21 years ago. Oh my God, I'm old. Don't tell him to. Right, so yeah, so that was when I get my crystal ball, and I have been using it ever since. I use it on a regular basis, not as much as I used to do. And it's mainly because it just doesn't come out that often. It's like I have mainly been working with cards, as you know, or if you don't know, I mainly use like tarot cards, and just other systems of divination. So, but I still use it. Like, I would probably say I use it for myself maybe about once a month, and it is just for myself at this moment. Will I open it up to, like, if I do more in person readings, possibly. It's so precious to me that I think the idea of anything happening to it makes me quite nervous. So I don't know. I don't know if I'm playing with this and you can't even see it, like, so it is, as you can see, it isn't glass, it is crystal. It's an extremely high grade crystal, clear quartz crystal, and I absolutely adore it. However, do you have to have a clear crystal ball in order to use it? No, you don't. Because I have got another example here. Now, I actually bought this off a really good friend of mine, Sarah from Tarot by Peachy. And if you don't know her, check her out on Instagram because she sells very nice indie tarot decks. And this is a oh, my mind just went totally blank. It is a rainbow obsidian, so it's a lighter. It's a lighter shady obsidian. I don't know if you can see the rainbow, but it's got some gorgeous flashes of colour in it. And as you can see, it's all different shades and all different colours. And I've used this for scrying and I've had some wonderful results. And I'm going to show you this other crystal, which I got from Blissful Moon Co. It was really expensive. I just remember I had a very Taurus moment, and I was watching one of her live crystal auctions, and I'd just seen it and I seen the colours and I was like, oh, I'm having that. And I didn't really know how crystal auctions on Instagram worked, and then I got the bill through and I'm like, all right, okay. But I adore this little crystal, and I cannot remember what it's called. And it's like, I think it's like an amalgamation of several crystals, right? But it's got like this wee like crack in the middle of it, and it like opens up, and then inside it, it's like got all these beautiful like sparkles. And it feels a bit like, you know, clear quartz, and it sits in my little Taurus ring thing, so it sits like that, and it's very precious. And would I even take this out of my office? Probably no. But I scry with this? Do I look into this? Yes, I do. Another crystal that I have got, which is labradorite, and I use this. I use this crystal. This crystal has been with me for a really, really long time. And I love this crystal. It was a gift from myself to myself, and I bought it in a crystal shop, and I love it. I really, really, can you tell that I love it? Can you? And I use this for scrying as well. And the thing with scrying are like using your crystal ball, right? It doesn't have to be one of them. It doesn't even need to be a ball. You know, it's like, that's not a ball, but you can use the crystal to scry into. So what is scrying? And this is very much like how I work. Is it right? Is it wrong? I don't know. You know, I'm very much like, you know, find your own path. Have I ever been in a class to learn how to use a crystal ball? No. Have I ever done a workshop in crystal balls? No. So, you know, the usual kind of thing, you know, take what resonates and leave behind. And if you think I'm talking absolute crap, then, you know, just tune out. You don't need to listen to me, right? So, but what do I do when I'm going to use my, when I'm going to have a scrying session? That sound weird. I don't know if it did. Please excuse my sinuses because I've got a wee bit of sinus problems today, and I'm hoping that it's just a wee touchy sinuses and no hay fever or anything like that. Don't want that. So what do I do? So I'll meditate first of all, right? And meditate however you like. Whatever way works for you. Me personally, I will just sit and ground myself, and I will hold a bit of selenite. Okay, so I've got my selenite wand here. I couldn't find the bit of selenite that I usually use, but it's basically it's about that size, and that's what it is. Or I'll use my unicorn horn, right? and I'll just sit and I'll hold this, okay? So then what do I do it? So it's like I'll close my eyes and I'll just take some deep breaths and I'll concentrate and lean into my breathing. So it's like my conscious mind will focus on my breathing. And that's the thing, right, with a lot of spiritual psychic work, intuition, however you describe it, however you want to call it, it's based and it starts with your breathing. So it's like anybody who's maybe want to learn how to do anything like in the metaphysical realm, that's where I would start. I would start learning about how you breathe, understanding how to breathe properly. Because we don't always breathe properly, and it's like going right deep into the diaphragm. No shallow breathing. A lot of people just breathe into their chest, but if you breathe like right into your diaphragm, right into your solar plexus, that's when you really connect with yourself. So I will do that, and I mean there isn't a time limit. Do I listen to music? Sometimes I listen to music, other times I don't. Other times I just like the silence, and that's how I prepare for it. So I will have selected my crystal or my crystal ball, or whatever the implement is that I'm going to use to scry. And sometimes that can be a candle flame. Sometimes, I will use the flame of a candle, but that's maybe a different video. I don't know. Let me know in the comments if you want me to do a different video on scrying with candle flames, or just flames in general. So I'll take my crystal ball, right, and I will just sit and I will like hold it in my hands, and it'll be cleansed, obviously, because cleanse your tools before you use them, and that can be whatever method you like to cleanse crystals with. It can be with salt, it can be smoke, it can be sound. If you are a practitioner of Reiki, you can use the Choco-Ray symbol. You just draw it onto the crystal and that cleanses it as well. So whatever way, you can cleanse it with water if it's a suitable crystal to be used with water. Just whatever you feel comfortable with. So you've cleansed your crystal, and you've cleansed it, and you've done your meditation. So you hold it in your hand, and again, this is what I do. So you hold it in your hand and you just get a feel for it, and you breathe. You keep, obviously you need to keep breathing down, but you breathe slowly. You lower your breathing and you become very conscious of your breathing. And then, I mean, sometimes what I'll do is I'll take my glasses off so that my sight is kind of fuzzy. Or if you don't wear glasses, just kind of a like, that way it's like you kind of diffuse your eyes. You kind of unfocus your sight. That's probably the best thing that I can describe it. So you do that. Well, that's what I do. And then, I just look. It's like I just concentrate and I look. Now, disclaimer here, right? Not everybody sees things like, I think there's this perception because is it maybe Hollywood, or is it maybe like just people's impressions of what it's been like, like not everybody when you look into a crystal ball actually sees like a moving figures or as if they're looking into a TV screen, right? It doesn't work like that, at least not for me. So what happens with me is it's like it focuses my intuition, and it focuses my mind into like just accessing that part in my brain, or that connection that I have with my guides, etc. And then I'll start to see things. Now, when I say I start to see things, it's very much like coming from my third eye. So it isn't my physical eyes that are seeing things. I'm not physically seeing things in this crystal ball. Like, I mean, some people do. And like it's usually if their clairvoyancy is really, really on point, and that's their dominant clair. For me, that isn't my dominant clair. So it's like I will see things, but I will see them in my third eye. I will see them there. And I'll be shown, it's like I'll be shown photographs. So as, and then, but they're a specific kind of photograph. And it's almost like, I mean, I don't know if you remember, like years ago, there was like this filter and you used to be able to get a camera and it was like a kind of a like fishbowl. I know this is really weird and I'm going off on a tangent, but that's what it's like for me. It's like I will see pictures, but it's like through a fishbowl filter. And that's how I know that I'm connected to the crystal ball, or I'm connected to the crystal that I'm scrying with. I will then be shown, if it's like, say for instance, my labradorite, I will be shown like all the striations and the like the components that make up this crystal, like the kind of almost like the chemical, like just the chemical constitution of it and how it's made. And then I will see pictures within those lines and those connection things. Again, this is how I work with it, and that's how like things come across to me. And by getting shown those pictures and patterns and photographs, as I call them, I'm able to pull together messages, and I'm able to pull together things that are relevant to me if I've asked any questions, or things that just come up. So be open to receiving a message in whatever way is comfortable to you, because I think, you know, there's so many people who put pressure in themselves thinking, oh well, I can't use a crystal ball because I don't see things in it. When we talk about seeing things, it's not always necessarily we see with our physical eyes, we can see with our third eye as well. And I think that as well, you know, don't dismiss it if it's something that you're hearing. Don't dismiss it if it's something that you're thinking. You know, it's like a lot of the time when you get like an intuitive message, it's a thought that comes into your head. You know, it's not somebody sitting here whispering into your ear. It's a thought that comes to your mind, but you know that it's not your thought. That's the only way that I can describe it. So that's how I use my crystal ball. I'm tempted not to use the plural of ball, even though I'm prefixing it with crystal, just saying. So if you found that helpful, or if you would like me to do any more information videos just about my thoughts and how I work with things, let me know in the comments. And if you've got this far, thank you so much for watching, and hopefully I will be back sometime soon with another video. Okay, take care, bye bye.